Hi, kia ora, good afternoon. So I've just been watching the trailer to Grand Theft Auto 6. Um, and because like Grand Theft Auto 4 is one of my favourite games ever, but I love Grand Theft Auto 5 as well. 4 and 5, they're two of my favourite games in the whole world. And my ex actually applied for jobs at Rockstar, so, you know, anyway, so I'm watching it. And all I kept thinking was, Miami Vice. It's like Miami Vice. I don't know, I was just watching it and I just keep thinking Miami Vice. And then I thought Draco TC and Wolfman. And then I thought, hang on a minute, like, because of Draco TC and Wolfman being undercover cops for the Ministry of Souls PD, but they work in the music and movie industry because Draco is kind of like Ice Cube. He started out in music and turned to movies. And Wolfman is because it's a TV show, Draco and Wolfman, Draco TC and Wolfman, which is like our version of Miami Vice. It's a TV show about two undercover cops, but they're undercover cops, unlike in Miami Vice. They go undercover and they do all sorts of like things to do with anything to do with the music and movie industry, like drugs and trafficking and guns and corruption and theft and all that sort of fraud and anything to do with the music and movie industry. But they're undercover. And Draco is African American and Wolfman is First Nations. And I'm just sitting here saying to my son, looking at Grand Theft Auto and thinking about Draco TC, knowing that it's our version of Miami Vice, and Grand Theft Auto 6 is looking a bit Miami Vice-like, I said, hang on a minute, like, we could turn Draco and Wolfman into a video game. Like, even before maybe we even made it into a series, whichever one came first, I don't know that it matters. We could totally turn, because the thing is, I don't actually have like a ton of game ideas. I mean, Thomas has got a couple in the background that he wants to deal with, and we've got the Quantum Menace and the Soul Collector, and I've got like my mini games in Your War 2, which is gonna take quite a few years to make, unless I've got like I outsource it, so we've got all hands on deck. But Draco TC, Draco and Wolfman, or Draco TC and the Wolfman, I don't know what I'd call it, could absolutely 100% be turned into a video game. And I have an idea based on a failed attempt to make a game from somebody I know a few years ago of what I would do and how I would do it. And, because I love Rainbow Six Vegas and all that, so just think Rainbow Six Vegas, a little bit of Grand Theft Auto. It's like, which comes first, the chicken or the egg? The TV show and then the video game, or should I make the video game and then the TV show? If I have to be honest with you, because Draco does appear in other things, because they do appear in other things, but my guts is kind of telling me to make the video game first, but the video game would take like a few years. I'm not one of these people that would demand, like that a 2-year game be made in 6 months sort of thing. I've learned from being the wife of someone in the video games industry. I would never ever treat my stuff at QeTwo games like that. So maybe I should make the TV show first and introduce people to the characters. and then it'll give us time to make the game in the background, but I know exactly how I'd do it. And it would involve like bank heists and jewelry heists and I mean, it doesn't, yeah, oh, I'm abound with ideas now. Because, you know, Franklin in Grand Theft Auto, I'm kind of thinking like that. You know how you kind of had a soft spot for Franklin? Everyone has a soft spot for Ice Cube as well. And Draco's kind of, you know, got that Ice Cube vibe. Sorry, the gardener's out there doing the garden. I don't know what to do because I'm thinking like, because they'd have to, yeah, because they're on the fringe of breaking the law while not quite breaking the law. And I could bring Pearl's husband, you know, Pearl from the Art of Creation, her husband, John, is kind of, he was totally based on Michael in Grand Theft Auto 5. But he deals with like antiques and art. And he's just above the law, that he doesn't get into trouble, but he's just below the law, that if the cops turned up, he doesn't get into trouble, if you know what I mean. Like he's not breaking any laws if they don't dig too deep. Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, he's dealing with things, but not to the point where it's going to get him into trouble with the law. But if he sort of stepped a little bit over the line, he would totally get in trouble with the law. Like he's just above the law to be below it, if you know what I mean. And John was totally modelled after Michael in Grand Theft Auto 5. So I could bring him into it. I'll talk to Thomas because he'll totally know what to do. Like I'll tell him, and he'll be like, "Well, how about you do this, and this?" That's just, my boys are brilliant like that. I know I'm sitting on something brilliant with a video game. I know it would take a couple of years to make. I know it would be a AAA, but the thing is, it would be available on our streaming service. We promised that we'd release all our games onto disc and that as well. I know I'm sitting on a seed with doing a Draco video game, but I need it to grow into, it's got to grow into something because I'm not quite there with how I would do it based on, I mean, I kind of know how I'd do it based on the TV show characters. But which comes first, the chicken or the egg? The video game or the TV show? I'm kind of inclined to want to do the game first, but I'll have a talk to Thomas because he's kind of like my writing partner. Although having said that, Gabriel's the one that has been helping me recently. He's my consultant. I've been consulting him on a lot of things. I'll have a talk to the both of them and see what they say, because they are, you know, this is their legacy. So I'm sitting on something, and I know I'm sitting on something. If I have to change Draco and the Wolfman's characters, I will, because I'm just trying to think if they're, and if okay, what I want to know is basically how far can a police officer break the law before it gets them into trouble. That's what I need to know. If a police officer is undercover to do like a drug bust, or like would they be allowed to take part in a jewellery heist if it's to catch the people pulling off the jewellery heist? Do you know what I mean? I know that they can sell drugs, and are they allowed to take drugs? You know, when they're doing drug busts, the FBI and all of that sort of thing. How far, and because they work for the Ministry of Soul, so they're working for like God and all of that too. So how far can a police officer go when they work for the karmic law before they cross boundaries that could get them into trouble? Like, I know a police officer, if they're undercover or like FBI, and they wouldn't be allowed to just kill anyone, right? Because then they'd get into trouble. But I know that I've seen movies and stuff about real crime and that, where they've gotten involved in, shipping drugs and all that for the cartels. Because I know it used to be a thing where if the cartels thought you were a undercover cop, they'd get you to take the drugs because they weren't allowed to take the drugs. But I don't know if that's... Sorry, it's my gardener. Yeah, so it would be like a whole storyline where one criminal would lead them to another criminal, to another criminal, to another criminal. But how far down the criminal line could they go before they broke the law themselves and got into trouble for it? That's what I need to find out. That's what I need to... This is why I need consultants and stuff. That's what I need to find out, because I'm kind of like... with my writing, because I like everything to... Well, everything has to be realistic with me. I don't want people going, that would never happen in real life. I don't want like an ex-cop going, they'd never do that sort of thing. So I'm going to need consultants and yeah. So that's another seed planted. So I'll see how it goes, and I'll talk to my boys and see. We'll see. I'm seeing like shootouts at supermarkets and jewellery heists and shootouts on the street, but like with Grand Theft Auto and Crackdown, if the criminals are shooting up the street, the cops come, you got to, like, skedaddle. Yeah, so, yeah, okay, and I know how I'm going, this failed game from many moons ago, unless I could buy the rights for it. But, yeah, so there we go. Grand Theft Auto 6. Huh. Give us the opportunity to put in incredible soundtracks. It would be fantastic for the kids to be able to say that they made music for the video game and all that. Just fantastic. And because it's sort of Miami Vice and it's a little bit sort of 80s-ish, the 80s Chang, we could have all like synth music and yeah, oh my god. Okay, so that's another one. That's another seed planted. We'll see where it goes. I'll speak to you later. Mwah.